You know, it always has and it always will be a privilege and an honor and a blessing for me to be coaching at the University of Colorado. You know, much like last night at the Butkus Award, I wore the Miley leg. It was given to me by Jordan's parents and by his family. And it was interesting. A little bit like today, everyone's kind of looking at me. There's snow on the ground and kind of look at me strange. And last night, I kind of felt like people thought I was wearing, the potted plants. So I had to explain. The Miley lei is a very special lei, and almost considered a sacred lei. It represents honor. It represents respect. It represents love. Darla, Jordan's mom, asked me to wear this again today, so I wear it in honor of his family. The Dave Jones Award is ironically named after a linebacker. Ironically named, carries a lot of tradition because he played when I was actually born in 1956. But I think his family would be very proud to know that. And I'm gonna mention that Jordan is the recipient, but there's a reason why I want to do that. I think that their family would be very proud of who represents this award. I mention his name because I believe there's a lesson, and I shared some of this last night at the Butkus Awards when I introduced Jordan. You chose him as your defensive, outstanding defensive player, you as players, and you saw probably a lot of things. You saw a great guy, you saw a great athlete, but let me tell you what I saw, and tell me if you don't see these things, because there's a lesson for you, for a team that's returning. I believe that he embodies and epitomizes the core values of Colorado football. And I think you would agree that work ethic, that his mental and physical toughness, his attention to details, and his leadership are things about him that you can say, that's Jordan Dizon. He practices like he plays in a game. There's only one speed, and that's just hard and fast every day. 4 years. He played hurt, and more importantly, he practiced hurt. Talking about mental toughness. And I can tell you there's nothing that would keep him from playing. Guess what? There'd be nothing that would keep him from practicing. He always wants to know exactly how to execute a play or a technique. He wants to do exactly what we're asking him to do. And for 4 years, I've had a student through, I can say this to even now, that he truly is a student because he wants to learn. He wants to know. He doesn't have all the answers, but he's willing to learn. He wants to know more, and he wants to do it right. He wants to do it the way it's supposed to be done. Those are the things besides his leadership. I think that you see this, that he tries to outwork you, that he tries to out-sprint you, he tries to out-practice you, he tries to out-prepare you, and he tries to out-compete in you. That's what makes Jordan Dizon. And it really is, it's no wonder that he is as successful as he is. Just watch him practice. Just watch him prepare. Guys, it's simple. And this is a success. These are values for a football team, no doubt. And then everybody in here, you business people, you know that these are values for success in business, success in life. I have been blessed to coach Jordan. He has been a blessing to me. The greatest joy for a coach is to see a player realize and maximize their God-given gifts, abilities, and potential. And Jordan does that every day. Every one of you guys are very talented. You're very gifted. And you have tremendous potential. The greatest joy for us as coaches is, wow, did you see him do what he's capable of doing? That is a great thing. Who would have thought from the island of Kauai, from the quaint town of Waimea, chasing wild pigs and diving in the ocean, that he would come to Colorado and create a great career for himself. He's an All-American. He's an All-Big 12. He's a Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. He's a runner-up in the Buckets. You chose him as your outstanding player. More importantly, he's a winner. Jordan Dizon.
One of our coaches passed with another coach, another head coach, famous head coach at a famous university, and I'm not going to say who it is, but during these conversations that one of our coaches had with this particular head coach, he said, you know, I love my wife and I love my kids, but I don't love my players. I don't have to love my players. I don't want to love my players. I'm coaching. And my first thought was somebody ought to get him out of coaching. But my second thought is I love all my players. And people have asked me, you know, what it's like having your own kid on your team. And I certainly love him. But every time I see these guys, I go, there's my kid. And I do love him. And I think as a parent, it's always been Misty and I's goal to have your kids be able to go out and be successful in life and to be able to do it on their own and have all those skills necessary. And you've heard Brian talk about Jordan, but he really is a special kid. He really is. Amongst a lot of good kids up here. But the thing about football, I think that is just so different is the really lessons that you can learn and what it teaches you. And usually it's the coaches that teach the players. But Jordan has taught me a lot. Yeah. But to have a guy, you show up every day, do what needs to be done, no matter how good it is, no matter how bad it is, to totally commit yourself to a cause. The stuff that he's gone through before I got here, the way he embraced me when I came, his dedication, his determination, his consistency, and he's a man's man, and I appreciate that and what he brings to our football team. You know, sometimes you give out the most valuable player award to a guy that has all the stats and all that, and he has many, but I've coached a lot of years, and I hope I coach a lot more. But I'm not sure I'll see many like this. Jordan Dizon.